Greetings, Pathfinder fans, and welcome to another edition of Booster Bestiary. I'm your host, Dustin Knight. Tonight, we are going to make another Pathfinder 2nd Edition monster using a random assortment of various trading card game booster packs. Let's flip over to there right now, and if anyone happens to see a pack that they really want opened, please go ahead and chat and spurt it out. While we'll just bring up a little bit of news here. Earlier today, there was a great stream with Stephen Glicker and Mark Seitfer that you could find on the Battle Zoo the Roll for Combat YouTube channel every Tuesday, and you should definitely check that out. I had a lot of fun. I believe after my stream, I'm not 100% sure, but I think there is a Arcane Mark as well, so you should go check that out too, because super fun show, and lots of great insights on that. Alright, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I will roll my trusty d6 and pull a 4. Alright, here we have it. A Legend of the Five Rings pack, Ivory Edition. Alright, so we got some fun cards out of Ivory Edition. Oh, I might as well announce this now, sure. I decided to splurge, given, it'll be my birthday, and get me some Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. A lot of nice packs. I always buy pre-release kits, as you're guaranteed a slightly higher chance. Basically, they're basically set boosters for the price of draft boosters, but they call them draft boosters. Anyway, I'll be pulling a lot of them because I'm loving that set. There's some amazing artwork, really cool mechanics. Highly recommend Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, and I will probably be doing an exceptionally long stream, maybe going for a few hours of just pumping out creatures, because I am super thrilled for it. Oh, thank you there, Faceless. Oh, Faceless, hi, thank you there. Yeah, it'll be my birthday, like the 21st, and Neon Dynasty's coming out the 18th, but because I'm staying inside, I won't be getting it until a few days later, so it'll all work out. Alright, so what we got here? We got a, wow, look how dark that ink is on that. That is, one reason I started doing this actually was in case I open cards with factory errors, it could be on stream that I got them from a pack, so they weren't done manually. But, unfortunately, L5R cards, there isn't much of a secondary market for Ivory Edition L5R cards, but if there was, that is a dark Roman Caravan. Alright, so Roman Caravan, it's like a land equivalent, so it's not really that important. Heavy infantry, it's a vanilla creature. Yeah. Alright, Matsu Agai, a Death Seeker. Fear 3. So he's a samurai warrior with a lot of intimidation who is willing to fight to the death. Okay. It's if you want this, there's the Orc Commander, I think it is, basically does this from Bestiary 1. Incapacitation. Move a defending personality home. Yep, okay. Suchi, look how dark these cards are. Maybe if I bet if they were in the sunlight for a little while, they'd lighten up. Oh, if I hold them up to the light like this, you could see them a little better. But man, the ink on these is really dark. So she's a bounty hunter. She does a range attack, and if it destroys a card, you get a gold because, you know, she's hunting for bounties. Not too sure how we'd mechanize that. There is a bounty hunter NPC. We could just modify that to be a ranged character instead of, because they're very melee right now. Maybe even find some abilities from the bounty hunter archetype that we could staple onto a creature. That would be fun. I'm not really feeling it too much, though. Maybe. We'll put that in the maybe pile. Here's an expert archers, only attached to a samurai, range 3 attack. It's an archer. Oh, easy. Shinjo Tobita, Fear 3. It's another samurai with fear. Kind of funny, it's a Shinjo. They're known for riding horses, and he is not riding a horse, so I don't know, whatever. Reinforced Parangu. A Parangu is a one-handed sword. It's a slashing. It's kind of a lot like a scimitar. This one in particular is very good for intimidation. Makes a lot of sparks when you swipe it against your sidearm because it is one-handed. Neat. I like that a lot. That's going to the maybe. I might use that pile. Yasuki Trader. Yep, it's a land. It produces gold. In Stillness, Forge the Soul. Target your... I'm going to use magic terms here. Target your untapped creature. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. You may equip one of them that is a weapon. So an equipment. Put the remaining cards back in any order. If he's a Kensai, that means you could equip 2 weapons. and you did not equip a weapon, you may put the strategy back into your hand. Okay, so you pray over your sword, you meditate over your sword, and try to get a spirit, a kami. It's in L5R terms, it's trying to get a kami to inhabit your sword. It's a cool ability. They did it in 3rd edition for the samurai. Effectively got craft magic weapon only with their sword. Which the idea was that you give gold, or in the OA version, experience points to a spirit, and it inhabits your sword and kind of becomes your soul. It's not like giving to a spirit, it's like becomes a spirit because the sword is your soul. Anyway, it doesn't work for a creature, because creature mechanics should only be relevant for the encounter unless they're an ongoing NPC, which these won't be. Temple of Harmony, it's a temple. Ring of Earth. That would be... The rings were very esoteric. They were uncommons. If you got all 5 into play, you won the game. Each of them had a different condition for bringing them out. And in Emperor Edition, you could also discard them from your hand to use their ability instead. They gave you a minor ability. They were really popular. They were good cards by themselves. Most people didn't play with all 5. Because the conditions to bring them out were such that you had to kind of do a little bit of everything that you could do in the game. So most people only use the ones relevant to their style of play. The tattooed monk who wanted to show off as many tattoos as possible. Just a monk, though. Just a tattooed monk. Good at defense. Okay. We're getting to the rares, though, now, so we'll get some more interesting cards. Fearful Volley. It is a ranged attack. Bow your on-target bow to scout, range 3 attack, or fear 2. Okay, I like that with Suruchi Rin. We're getting somewhere now because we have another range attack. I like that. A time for action is an event. It was our rare, but it doesn't really do much with a creature. When you have 21 or more of honor, you lose 5 honor. In the game, there was a separate tracker for honor, so if you hit 40, you won the game, so some decks would do that. If you hit negative 20, you lost the game, so some decks would try to dishonor the opponent. This would effectively take somebody who was trying to win through honor and lower their honor by 5, so it was to prevent honor rushing decks from being able to win too quickly. The idea, the flavor was basically you're telling somebody, yeah, stop hanging out in the courts and vying for political favors. This is a time for war. Like, that's not honorable. That was the whole idea of that. And a Cavalry Follower token, and on the back is our trusty draft stronghold if you were to draft this pack. Alright, so we're going to go with Suruchi Rin. Let's flip this over to our build. That is not the right window. There it is. Haha. Alright. So, last week we did Tabarak's Hope's Demise. Made ourselves a fun demon cleric there. This week, though, we went with L5R. I'm going to see if there's an experienced version of Suruchi Rin that we could possibly get some ability inspiration from. A lot of the characters in L5R had an inexperienced version that you could play 3 in your deck, and an experienced version that you can only play 1 of in your deck, but it could overlay the inexperienced version and kind of gain their abilities. This one did not, but that's fine. There's enough here. More than one criminal has mistaken a Suruchi's wish to collect their bounty as a sign they could be bribed. It is not a mistake made twice. Okay, cool. So we could give her some cool abilities just based on that flavor text, actually. Alright, so let's get rid of Tabarak's. Haha. And we'll come out with Suruchi Rin. Make that a little bigger so everyone can see it. Haha. There we have it. Oh, she had another card with her, too. Fearful Volley. Yeah. So we're going to make an ability called Fearful Volley. I like that. I love the idea of using spells for monster abilities. Or actions, in this case. Strategies, they were called in L5R. Which is a good name for them. They used to be called actions back in old L5R. Old L5R. This is only old 5R, not... there's like old school Clan War L5R, which is like the oldest, and then there's old 5R, as they call it, which is like this, and then there's the new 5R, or Fantasy Flight 5R, which is now discontinued. So now we have 3 forms of old 5R. That makes tons of sense, I know. Bounty Hunter. It's a fun game. It was a strategically very, very in-depth game compared to Magic. It had a lot more to do with like where people were assigned, and then there was like 4 or 5 victory conditions built into the game at the very beginning. that were all viable, like pretty viable, like some less than others, but they were all represented well at the final big tournament in Gen Con every year. So it was well done. Most of all, it was a storytelling game. So the winner of the tournament got to make decisions that changed the future of the story significantly. Like, who's going to be the next emperor? Which clan is going to conquer the land? Will your clan go to war with this other clan? Stuff like that. Big storyline decisions were made by the winners of tournaments, which mixed results. Mostly good, though. It was pretty cool. There is some problematic orientalization in the game that you should be aware of. I don't see any on these cards. It got better later in the day, but those early cards, there's some bad stuff, and that's why I don't open those early packs. But we've all grown since then, which is good. Especially the Fantasy Flight game has grown significantly more. And I want to say that, just full disclosure, that last bit. Alright, so we're going to go off the base Bounty Hunter. Level 4 creature, she costs 5 gold. We're going to level up the Bounty Hunter a little bit. So let's go ahead and go open URL. Will this work? Please work. Please work. Yes. Alright, so the base Bounty Hunter in Pathfinder 2 from Game Mastery Guide, page 227, had a Hunt Prey ability. They designate a single creature that they could see and hear, or when they're tracking as their prey. They gain a +2 circumstance bonus to perception checks to seek the prey, and to survival checks to track the prey. It lasts until they use Hunt Prey again. So it was like the Hunt Prey ability of the Rage. Except the first time they hit their 100 prey each round, they deal additional 1d8 precision damage. Yeah, that fits Suruchi Rin pretty well. And running reload, she lets the bounty hunter stride, step, or sneak, and then interact to reload. Cool, so you can move and reload. The original bounty hunter used a crossbow. She is definitely not using a crossbow. She is definitely using a longbow. They also used a falchion, which Suruchi Rin... She wouldn't use a katana. It almost looks like a katana on her back. Oh, she is a samurai. Yeah, so she's carrying her katana and her Wakazashi with her. So we got to give her a katana and her Wakazashi. Yeah, so let's go. Suruchi Rin. I'm going to give her common and Tian. The Mantis, unlike most clans, would have spoken like both the Western language of the setting and the Eastern. Just minor thing there. Let's level her up to 5. She is a level 5. She's a little better than your average bounty hunter, is another way to put it. And since she's level 5, we're going to give her an extra point of... What is Suruchi Rin? She has 3 chi. Chi is used for one-on-one melee duels, mostly. But it's also your life force. So I'm going to give her some more constitution. By +1 constitution, and that will be it for her leveling. Just the +1 con is fine. Even that's like a bit kind of weird, but it works. Yeah, it works. It works fine. All right. AC 21 is fine at this level. Fortitude goes up a little. Reflex and will stay the same. No changes to saves. Hit points will go up quite a bit. They were 60. We'll go up to 72. That matches fine with the AC, both moderate's fine. No resistances or immunities or weaknesses. I do want to give her a decent... Oh, she does have a decent athletics. So let's pump her athletics to 12 because all the Mantis know how to swim. Let's keep her deception at moderate. They gave her only low diplomacy. I'm going to give her a little high because she's of the samurai caste. Actually, let's just switch deception and diplomacy here. Because was she honorable? Yeah, she had 2 personal honor. So yeah, let's just give her a 9 in deception. Because she is still a mantis. They were kind of pirates. And she's a bounty hunter. Yeah, bounty hunters have to lie a little. So we'll give her, and feint. Let's give her diplomacy. Definitely give her intimidate for this build. And to make up for that, stealth has to remain high. Survival has to remain high. Yeah, no, we're good. Let's... Oh, I want to stat up her acrobatics too. And her acrobatics should be a little higher than her athletics because she has higher dex. And it just feels right. That's good there. Okay, so under items, we're going to go to equipment. I had spells open. I didn't think I would need equipment. We're going to go to equipment and look at bows. So bows. Crossbow, hand crossbow. I know there's a better way to do this. Composite longbow. Here we go. That's a bow. Composite longbow is a bow. All right, for bows, we have, I need something closest to the Daikyu is right there. I forgot they made the Daikyu in Advanced Player's Guide. So we have a Daikyu. Is this striking by level 5? Or do they have it on the original? They had plus 1d10. It's not striking. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Rin. It is not striking. So she has a Daikyu. I will go ahead and write the offensive stats of that right now. It will be her high attack, so plus 15. It will be her pretty high damage, so 2d8 plus 7. Should I have... Well, it does d8, so it should do d8. I'm going to lower the attack by 1, because the high attack and high damage is really brutal. Although it doesn't have the same traits as her old crossbow. Instead, it has range increment 80 feet. And what is the reload on a Daikyu? Damage, 1d8 bludgeoning, uncommon bow. I don't need to put uncommon there. I'm sorry, I am missing... What is the reload on a Daikyu? On page 1 or 2. Reload of a Daikyu is... 1? That's hands. Bulk. Maybe there is no reload on Daikyu. Is there no reload on bows? This chat is ready to available message. Where do they put that on? Oh, they put that there. Yeah, okay, yeah, there's no reload on bows. Duh. Okay, cool. Usually it's 0. On the Daikyu, for some reason, they put like a slash mark. I don't know why. Maybe if I read the description. Asymmetrical bow. You can only fire in your left side for some reason when it's mounted, even though I have seen pictures of samurai shooting from the right side on a Daikyu. I mean, not when they're doing their competition, but in war, there's depictions of it. But okay, whatever. Not getting into that here. Yeah, no, we're good. That's all it is. It just does a big amount of piercing damage. That's cool. I love it. All right, so piercing d8. All right, I'm gonna type out reload 0 so we know it's reload 0. How many arrows did they give? How many bolts did they give? 10 bolts? I feel like you need more than 10 arrows if you're hunting. How many does she have on the picture? Oh, she only has like, yeah, 10 is fine. Sure, fine. 10 arrows. Then she has studded leather armor's fine. Suruchi wouldn't use leather. They'd use lamelier. Alright, I got this. Sorry about that. My website's going crazy. Alright, Katana. Let's go ahead and do the Katana. Is Katana finesse? No, it isn't. Good. That usually took a feat in 1E in all the other editions. So, yeah, probably shouldn't have been. So, Katana's going to be less because she does have less strength. So, let's make Katana her moderate, which would be 13. But let's give it... What's the Katana's damage usually? Is two-handed D10. So, let's give it 2D10 plus 7. Plus 6. Which would be between high and moderate, but it does have the lower to hit, which is fine. And that's on two-handed. So I'm just going to put two-handed here in the traits, even though it's not usually. It's two-handed D10 usually. Oh, then I'll do that. Two-hand, 1D10, versatile P, deadly D8. Oh, it's deadly. Oh, yeah, we do need to lower that if it's deadly. So let's just have this do 2D6 plus 6 on the Katana. That is dangerous, but we have the attack moderate, which is fine. And then we will give her... Why does that say ranged? Melee. Ranged. Daikyu. And then we'll give her Wakazashi as well. because all samurai in L5R carry both. Alright, Wakazashi will also give it 13. We will give it the Agile, Deadly D8, Finesse. Oh, if it's Finesse, she should get +1. Versatile P. And then low damage on this. Like, D4, good. They usually do D4s. That is good to know because we do not want this to do more than a D4. So 2D4 plus 6 is fine. Awesome. Alright, so she has her Katana, she has her Wakazashi, and she needs some kind of armor. And I don't, even though the original bounty hunter uses studded leather, I don't want to use studded leather because only a select handful of clans in L5R would use leather. Like the Fox clan. Splint mail? No, that's heavy. So something else light. Chain shirt, I guess. Yeah, I guess it would be a chain shirt. I mean, it wouldn't really be lamellar. I'll just put that in there. Lamellar armor. And then I will put studded leather next to it. That just means lamellar is the same stats as studded leather. You could argue with me if you think that's wrong. I'm curious what you guys think. Whether or not lamellar counts as studded leather. Alright, so hunt prey, precision edge, those are both fine. Running reload. I feel like I want something in there for her getting gold, but what would that be? If it destroys a card, you produce 1 gold. But that's not how bounty. That's just flavor for being a bounty hunter. Mantis clan, samurai. Oh, is there perception in there? It is not. Perception should be. Oh no, it is. Okay, good. Perception should be 1 higher though. 15. Good, good. She is human, humanoid. She's unique. I should put that in there because she is named. What would her alignment be? I guess lawful neutral. Yeah, lawful neutral. Definitely lawful neutral. I don't think anyone in the Mantis clan qualifies as lawful good outside of the Centipede family, the Centipede clan, whatever they were, the Moshi. They were definitely lawful good. Some Kitsune members, no, they weren't. The Kitsune clan was not lawful any. Yeah. All right. So I will give that extra ability we need to stat up. This will be the fun part. This is the Fearful Volley. Fearful Volley. All right. So I think this is going to be like the Gunslinger ability that I talked about. I did released an article today with the first 5 levels of talismans. I looked at all the talismans, level 1 through 5, and kind of rated them on my personal opinion. But most of all, I released a Google Doc that shows what all the talismans do with one simple look, rather than having to click on each one and read the descriptions. And I will be filling that out over time. Within 2 weeks, it will be completely filled out, and I will release another article with all the remaining talismans in one place for y'all. And the reason I brought this up, not just to talk about, because there is a great gunslinger feat that you could get with a talisman called Warning Shot. It's underrated as heck. The talisman is cool because it's one of the few ways to demoralize somebody with Intimidate without worrying about the cooldown. There are a few things like Agonizing Rebuke is my favorite. I talk about all the time. That lets you add a rider effect to your demoralize. In that case, it's kind of a persistent damage. And that is one way to apply demoralize excuse me. The Warning Shot talisman is one of the few ways to apply another Agonizing Rebuke after they have gotten over being fearful. It's probably better just to keep them fearful with like a scarecrow if you have enough room in your build for a scroll. There's the Scarecrow monster. Regardless of character level, the Scarecrow will stop creatures from lowering their fearful below 1, which is great if you want to make that kind of a silly build that just keeps people afraid all the time. I mean, Intimidate's good already. Like, Intimidate has some of the best skill feats if your focus is on encounter mode combat. and demoralizing is just it's a great third action. I love riders. Yeah, I love riders. I love adding effects to actions and making people feel like they're combining. It's funny too because the Agonizer Rebuke build, I talk about how cool it is all the time. It's not that OP. Like, yeah, oh man, I could add, I forget, I want to say 3d6, 3d4 persistent damage while they're afraid at like level 16, and it's like, okay, yeah, you're doing like 12 extra damage if they fail the will save per round. I mean, it's good, but like by that level, things have like 200 hit points. So it's like, okay. Like, yeah, it's something. It's not nothing, but it's not great. Oh, it is a unique kind of persistent damage, though. It's not like bleeding, so, that's cool. All right, so I'm on Gunslinger feats now. I'm going to look up Warning Shot. Okay, so the original Warning Shot, it lets you attempt to demoralize as a single action by firing your weapon into the air using the firearm's maximum range rather than your usual range of 30 feet. The check doesn't take the -4 penalty if the target doesn't share language with you. Man, that makes me want to get rid of her common and just have her speak Tion. I think that'd be really flavorful enemy to face, where she has to like try to gesture at you that, give up with that demoralize. But no, too complicated. If you want to do something with her during exploration mode, or like a skill challenge with her, kind of debate with her, you want her to speak the language. And like I said, the Mantis were known to speak to foreigners. All right, so we're going to do that. Fearful Volley. It has no traits. Interesting. Well, it has no traits because it says it uses the demoralize action. On a monster, you don't want to say... Here's a tip for everyone out there. If you're riding a monster, please, unless it's something obvious like shove or grab, if it has rules, to me, personally, it's better just to write them out of the monster. Don't say like, attempt... demoralize. Okay, now the GM has to, an inexperienced GM has to open up the core rulebook and look up demoralize. Like now they have 2 books open. No, just write out like roll attempt an intimidate check against the target's will DC, frightened 1, frightened 2. Like you could do it. Like maybe it's not great, but especially when the point of this is to not have that 10-minute rest period and doesn't take the penalty if they don't share language with you, if they attempt demoralize. That is true. And now I don't have to put all the traits for demoralize if I do this. See, now I'm going back and forth. Now I'm flip-flopping. So I'm looking at demoralize, and most people know what it does. It's not that complex of an ability, even if you're a new GM. Yeah, I'm just going to do it like Warning Shot. I just talked myself out of it. It's fun to talk like that, though, right? Right? I think it is. All right, so let's alphabetical order this. Go up here, Fearful Volley. There we have it. Oh, I know what to do with this. Okay. Shooting an arrow at near her target. Even though it says shooting an arrow, I'm going to say, because I don't want this to increase her her multiple attack penalty, because Warning Shot doesn't either. So letting loose and releasing an arrow, no. Firing an arrow near her target. Suruchi Rin. I'm going to say the Bounty Hunter, because it says that for all the others. Now I'll say Suruchi Rin. Suruchi Rin demands her target. Suruchi Rin strikes fear into the heart of her target. She attempts to demoralize a foe using her Daikyu's foe within... What's maximum range? Would be 6 times 8. Using her Daikyu's maximum range, usually 480 feet, rather than the usual range of 30 feet. This check doesn't take the... Ooh, that's too big. -4. Yes, Alt 150 to get that cool minus sign. The -4 circumstance penalty if the target doesn't share a language with you. Let's also throw in Suruchi Rin gets a +2 circumstance bonus to Intimidation. Actually, let's just put the hunt prey. I'm going to add that to hunt prey. So, Suruchi Rin designates a single creature they can see, she can see, and hear, or when they're talking, as their prey. The Suruchi Rin gets a +2 circumstance bonus to perception checks to seek the prey, survival checks to seek the prey, comma, to survival checks to track the prey, comma, and to intimidation checks to demoralize the prey. This effect lasts until Suruchi Rin uses Hunt Prey again. The first time Suruchi Rin hits her prey in a round, they deal additional precision damage. That's fine. And Suruchi Rin strikes and then use action reload. Okay, definitely gonna keep running reload because that's like 101 for the Suruchi family in L5R, is they jump from one place to the other while they fire. So definitely keeping that. Then interacts to reload. I'm tempted to also say reload or draw a weapon. So she could draw her katana. Nah. That's not what the Suruchi clan does. That is something different. Cool, we're good. Want to double check these tags. Hunt Prey has the concentrate. Okay, that was on there. Cool. Just want to make sure that PF tools transferred. It did. It transferred everything over really nicely. Awesome. Then we're good. I'm going to give her some coins. That's what I'll do. I'm going to give her... how much gold? 1 gold in L5R was 1 koku, which was 1 year's worth of rice for a peasant in L5R. Or not for a peasant, for a human. 1 year's worth of rice in Pathfinder 2. I'm going to look that up real quick because we have time. And Arcane Mark isn't started up yet. And I have consumables, all equipment, food. Alright, so 1 year's worth of rice would be 3 rice meals in a day for 365 days. That would be like a poor meal, because normally rice would be a side dish. So that's 1 copper piece, which I think they just picked because that was the lowest denomination, not because they sat down and did math. But maybe. So times 3 times 365, that would be 1,095 copper pieces. We're going to summarize that to 1,000 copper, which is 100 gold, which is 10 platinum. So we're going to say 100 gold's a lot for level 5 creature. Wealth level Pathfinder. Normally, a level 5 character has 50 gold. And from level 5 to level 6, they will get 30 gold, 12 encounters. I'm going to give her 10 gold. It's a lot to loot, but she's more of a boss. Like, I would not use her unless she was this kind of a character should have all the gold from the encounter anyway. And she should be a pretty major encounter. Probably after a series of skill checks. Probably traps she set up or something. Alright, cool. So there we have it. Suruchi Rin from Legend of the Five Rings with Fearful Volley. I like it. It's solid. It's fun. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. On Friday, I will be going over some great new Pathfinder Infinite products, including some great supplements for Quest for the Frozen Flame from the Gremlin Brothers, and the Arcadia book by Luis Loza. And there was something else I want to go over, too. I believe I want to go over Gingerbread Witch, long overdue, the changes to Gingerbread Witch. And one second here so I can pull it up. It is right on my Discord under Pathfinder Infinite. I know you're in here. Come on. I know you're here. Starfinder 2E promo requests. Whatever. I'll be going over... Oh, wait. Here it was. Haha. Gremlin Brothers, Quest for the Frozen Flame tie-in, Luis Lowe's Arcadia Fall, Gingerbread Witch. Oh, how could I forget that? It's so cool. And the Sons of the Raging Blood, which lets you play... it's an alternate... kind of like a changeling, but like a male changeling? Like, what would happen if you were born a male under the same circumstances as a changeling? Oh, and for anyone who's watching, thank you very much. I had some pretty good sales from Star Spinners, and some great feedback, and I did release an errata to Star Spinners. I pumped up the numbers a little on Meteor Shot, and I added a new feat. Because that way I was able to fit in a new feat. So download the newest Star Spinners if you bought it. If you haven't, go buy it. No. And because there is new content in there that lets you combine your Kitsune Star Orb with Aeon Stones, which I'm really loving. I'm doing a role play about that right now. Anyway, so thank you all very much for watching. I had a great time. I'm going to go post this to social media. Check me out on Friday for Infinite Reviews at 4 p.m. It will be hosted here and on the official Paizo channel. Thank you very much for all the support, and have yourself a wonderful